Most Chevy truck owners have no idea diesels fail in a completely different way than gas trucks. That 6.6-liter Duramax L5P or LML, not indestructible, hauling a loaded trailer, crawling down the interstate, or idling on a job site puts stress your pickup never feels. I've seen 60,000-mile Duramax engines that should have hit 500,000 fail because owners treated them like bare trucks. Today, we're diving into 20 silent killers most forums ignore. Grab a notepad, your L5P's future starts here. If that's your routine, your Duramax or any diesel hates you. When diesel sits cold, the oil isn't oil yet. It's thick, sluggish syrup, barely reaches the turbo bearings, lifters, cam lobes, and that high-pressure C4 pump. Start it, punch drive, and suddenly you're spinning metal at thousands of RPM with almost zero lubrication. That grinding starts instantly, silently eating away at components that cost thousands to replace. Warning signs? Turbo whine at startup, little blue smoke puffs after sitting, or that creeping loss of power you can't explain. Dealers shrug and blame normal wear, but the truth is your own morning rush could be the culprit. The fix? Simple. Crank it, let it idle for 30 to 45 seconds. No revving, no hopping on it, and then drive gently until oil temp hits 180 Fahrenheit and coolant reaches normal. A block heater below 20 degrees Fahrenheit is a game changer. Save heavy boost or towing until it's warmed up. Real world story. A 2019 Sierra HD owner did the 10-second remote start habit every day. By 82,000 miles, his turbo shaft had visible play. $7,200 fix. Next truck, he idled properly. Now, 180,000 miles on the original turbo. Midwest fleets that respect this idle easily hit 350,000-mile turbos. Those 45 seconds of patience will save your engine, money, and a ton of stress. Chevy diesel owners love to idle. Construction sites, drive-thrus, warming up in the morning, cooling down after a hot day. It feels harmless, right? Not even close. Long idling is secretly one of the worst things you can do to a Duramax. Low temps mean incomplete combustion. Soot clogs the EGR valve, DPF, turbo vanes, intake manifold, and rings. Even worse, fuel dilution becomes a silent killer. Diesel literally washes down cylinder walls into the oil pan. I've drained oil from L5P Silverados that smelled like pure diesel fuel. Warning signs? Oil smells strongly of diesel, DPF regen light constantly blinking, turbo spooling slow or lazy. Most owners will never check. A simple sniff test once a month or check your OBD 2-hour meter, and you'll know how much time your engine spends hurting itself. The fix is simple. Shut it off after 60 to 90 seconds. Need power tools or PTO? Only high idle mode. Cold mornings? Use a block heater instead of letting it sit. RV or AC power? The quiet generator does the work without killing your engine. Cost? About $450 for a high idle kit and $3,000 for a generator, versus $18,000 for DPF and EGR replacements. Real example? A Midwest construction fleet, idle 5 hours a day. Injectors dead by 140,000 miles, $12,000 in repairs. Same trucks limited to low idle survived 280,000 miles with zero rebuilds. Your Duramax isn't a generator. Treat it like an engine, and it'll reward you. A lot of Chevy diesel owners think keeping RPMs low while towing saves fuel. In reality, it's quietly murdering your Duramax. Dropping to 1,200 RPM under heavy load starves the engine of oil pressure. The turbo struggles to spool, cylinder pressure skyrocket, and exhaust gas temps spike unpredictably, scorching pistons and stressing rods. Your Silverado HD isn't a light-duty pickup when it's hauling thousands. Every low RPM pull under load is torture. Warning signs are obvious once you know them. White smoke from the head gasket, rod knock under load, transmission slipping as RPM climbs. Dealers will shrug and blame normal towing wear, but it's driver error. Plain and simple. The fix? Stay in the sweet spot. 1,800 to 2,300 RPM while towing. EGTs under 1,250 Fahrenheit. Downshift before hills, engage tow haul mode, or manually select 5th and 6th gears for heavy grades. An Edge CTS3 monitor plus a pyrometer, about $350, lets you track temps before disaster strikes. Real world story? 2015 Sierra HD pulling a fifth wheel. Never downshifted, always let it pull. By 118,000 miles, both head gaskets toasted. $9,800 dealer bill. Next truck, 240,000 miles. Original gaskets, proper RPM. Fleets know 2,000 RPM minimum towing saves both engine and wallet. Your Duramax wants gears, not punishment. Drop to fifth before that grade and let it breathe. Lugging silently destroys torque monsters, and it happens faster than you think. Here's one most Chevy diesel owners never think about. You tow a heavy trailer up a mountain, turbo spinning, 85,000 RPM, cherry red, EGT screaming, reach the summit, park, and hit the kill switch. That's the fastest way to cook a Duramax or L5P turbo. When you shut down hot, the turbine sits at 950 Fahrenheit. Oil flow stops instantly, and trapped oil literally boils to carbon, scratching shafts and frying bearings. Do this repeatedly and your turbo is toast, guaranteed. Warning signs are subtle until it's too late. High-pitched dentist drill turbo whine, blue smoke puff on restart, or shaft play if you pry the compressor wheel. Most RV and towing owners never watch EGTs cool. No gauge, no clue. The fix is simple. Idle for 2 to 4 minutes after a hard pull until EGTs drop below 350. Want hands-free? A turbo timer kit does this automatically for $320, or watch your pyrometer religiously. Real-world example. A 2017 Silverado HD pulling a horse trailer came in hot every weekend. By 78,000 miles, the turbo whined like a grinder, blades kissing the housing. $6,800 repair. Install the timer, and the next season, 90,000 miles later, it was whisper quiet. Colorado mountain fleets swear by the cooldown ritual. Turbo life doubles. Feel that smooth spool return. Your Duramax or L5P literally begs for 3 minutes. Dealers won't tell you. They profit when you forget. Here's a trap almost every Chevy diesel owner falls into. Those quick runs. Grocery store, school drop-offs, short errands. Never get your truck hot enough. Modern Duramax and L5P engines need sustained highway temps, around 1400 Fahrenheit in the exhaust for the DPF to passively clean itself. Short trips, turbo stays cold, oil barely flows, soot stacks up in the DPF, and any active regens get interrupted. Add in fuel-injected cleanings during regen and suddenly you're washing diesel down cylinder walls. Oil goes milky, bearings starved, cylinders stressed. Warning signs are obvious once you know what to look for. Blinking DPF regen light, oil level mysteriously rising with a faint diesel smell, limp mode capping you at 2,500 RPM. Most owners never scan their OBD for soot percentage, so trouble grows silently. Fixing it is simple and cheap compared to dealer bills. Plan at least one 30 to 40 minute highway blast weekly till let passive regen complete. Use an Edge CTS3, $450, or similar monitor to check soot load and finish any interrupted regens safely in your driveway. Real world example? A Texas ranch fleet short-tripped every day. Yearly, they replace DPF cores at $4,800 each. Switch to one weekly highway blast, 0 failures for 3 straight years. Throttle response returned, warning lights stayed quiet. Your Duramax emissions system literally thanks you for a little highway love. Dealers won't tell you. 30 minutes a week beats a $5,000 repair bill every year. Picture this. It's a frosty morning. You fire up your Silverado or Sierra, oil barely flowing, and you stomp the pedal merging onto I-80. That thick, syrupy oil hasn't reached pistons, turbo bearings, or lifters yet. Every push of the pedal spins critical components with almost zero lubrication. High compression seals get stressed, pistons slap cylinder walls, turbo spins hot and dry, metal on metal contact guaranteed in those first 10 minutes. Diesel engines hate this abuse more than gas engines do. Your cold rev stunt is quietly chipping away at engine life. Warning signs are subtle but telling. That cold knock disappears once the engine warms. Faint blue puffs at startup, gradual loss of power over time. Dealers, they shrug and call it normal diesel behavior, conveniently ignoring the early damage you're stacking. Check your oil temp gauge. 180 degrees Fahrenheit minimum before any boost or hard throttle. The fix is simple. Baby the throttle the first 10-15 minutes. Merge gently. Keep your RPM steady around 1800 until fully warmed. Your patience costs nothing but can save $12,000 in internal repairs. Forum horror stories? Silverados abused cold revs. Oil analysis at 70,000 miles, littered with metal shavings. Owners who eased into driving, smooth, quiet, 250,000 plus miles. Feel the engine come alive gradually instead of punishing it at frost. Your L5P or Duramax is begging for gentle first miles. Science proves it, and your turbo will thank you. Let's be real. Every gas station isn't created equal. That $3 diesel might save a few bucks at the pump, but your Duramax sees it as a ticking time bomb. Cheap or discount stations often let water slip into the tanks. Separators fail and sediment settles. One contaminated fill in your CP4 high-pressure pump is starving for clean fuel. Cavitation starts, and in a flash, $9,000 grenade. Those Chevy common rail injectors are fragile. They'll chain react and destroy your fuel system before you even smell trouble. Warning signs are subtle and deadly. Hard, hot restarts. Sudden power loss under load. A puff of white smoke on acceleration. Most owners never check the fuel bowl drain valve, letting water and crud sit. Don't be that person. Check regularly. Drain your fuel water separator monthly, especially if your tank sits at half full. Stick to reputable stations: Shell, Chevron, Exxon, Mobil. Add Stanadine diesel fuel additive every third tank. It's $22. And never let your tank drop below a quarter. Change filters religiously with Motorcraft or OEM. Cost about $45 in proactive care. Benefit? You potentially save $9,500 on a CP4 pump rebuild. Real life example: Florida Silverado. Sat half full all summer. One quick drain of the separator saved the pump last second. Your Duramax is begging for clean fuel. Touch that drain valve this weekend, trust me. It's the easiest insurance against a catastrophic fuel failure. Let's bust a myth. Old school, warm it up 15 minutes before driving is actually one of the fastest ways to ruin a modern Chevy diesel. That extended low RPM idle may feel safe, but science proves it's a disaster. Your engine isn't circulating oil efficiently. Turbo bearings stay cold and combustion is incomplete. Soot builds up. DPF never hits the temps it needs to self-clean. And fuel just burns slowly into nothing. You're literally baking your emission system while wasting fuel. Warning signs are obvious if you watch. Thick white smoke curling from the exhaust. EGTs never climbing past 800 Fahrenheit, and your DPF constantly trying and failing to regen. Dealers might still shrug and call it normal diesel behavior, but fleets that train drivers right know better. Check your habits at 50 degrees Fahrenheit. 30 to 60 seconds of idle is plenty. Colder than 20 degrees, 2 to 3 minutes max. Sub-zero, 5 minutes is the absolute limit. Then get moving. Gentle driving under a light load warms everything 3 times faster than stationary idling. A block heater the night before makes this effortless. The fix? Light trailer load, steady 55 mile per hour highway, block heater if needed. Cost? About $250, but it prevents $10,000 in turbo and DPF damage. Experienced cold start fleets consistently hit 400,000 miles on original turbos. Your Duramax prefers moving warm, not stationary smoldering. Ditch the 15-minute idle ritual. Your engine will thank you. Here's a myth that kills more Duramax engines than anything else. Keep RPM low while towing to save the engine. Sounds safe, right? Wrong. Lugging along at 1200 RPM under a heavy trailer doesn't save your engine. It tortures it. Cylinder pressures skyrocket. Piston tops heat up, combustion is incomplete, and the turbo barely spins. You're basically baking carbon onto your piston crowns and starving your boost system at the same time. Proper towing isn't about crawling, it's about controlled power. Keeping your engine between 1800 and 3000 RPM under load ensures full combustion, clean turbo spool, and adequate cylinder cooling. That sweet spot is where your Duramax breathes best. Warning signs? Carbon rattle knock under load, sudden 2 mile per gallon drop, turbo lag that feels like you're towing through molasses. Most drivers never even check EGTs. Peaks over 1400 Fahrenheit while lugging scream danger. What to do? Downshift manually before hills, engage tow haul mode to maintain proper ratios, and cruise loaded at 2000 to 2500 RPM on the highway. Zero cost, just your right foot, and you save thousands in piston damage. Real-world proof, professional fleets that maintain RPM discipline see smoother engines, 50,000-mile MPG bonus, and pistons that look new at 250,000 miles. Your Duramax torque peak lives at 1800 to 3000 RPM. Treat it right and your engine will reward you with decades of reliable power. Lugging at 1200, it silently destroys everything from piston tops down. Here's one that silently destroys Duramax and L5P turbos. You just hammered up a steep grade, EGT screaming 1350 Fahrenheit, turbo spinning 90,000 RPM, and you park, kill the key, and walk away. That's the fastest way to toast a turbo. The instant you shut it down, the oil pump stops. Bearings at 900 Fahrenheit cook dry, and trapped oil carbonizes, scratching tolerances. Do that repeatedly and your turbo is a $7,200 paperweight. Pickups may survive casual cooldowns, but heavy towing, especially with RVs or trailers, turns immediate shutdown into a killer habit. Warning signs? Turbo bearing whine, pitch shifts, restart puff of blue smoke, visible shaft play when prying the compressor wheel. Most owners miss it until the damage is done. The check? EGTs under 400 Fahrenheit before shutdown. Minimum idle, 60 to 90 seconds after a hard pull is non-negotiable. The fix? Install an automatic turbo timer kit for $325 or watch a pyrometer religiously after every steep grade. It's just discipline, not rocket science. That cost is $0. It's a habit. $7,200 saved in turbo replacement. A real-world example? Rocky Mountain towing fleets enforce cool-down rituals religiously. 200,000-mile original turbos are common. Feel the difference. Smooth, quiet spool return. VGT vanes intact, no heat-soak stress. Every hard pull, idle, watch temperatures drop, and protect your turbo. Your L5P begs a little mercy. It won't forgive hot neglect. Here's a silent killer most Duramax and L5P owners never see coming. Short trips that interrupt active DPF regens. Modern diesels inject extra fuel to clean soot, but if you never let the regen finish, like grocery runs, school drop-offs, or RV park hops, that fuel doesn't burn. Instead, it coats cylinder walls, seeps past rings, and dilutes your oil. Bearings starve silently. Your oil might look normal, but analysis reveal 8% plus fuel contamination, enough to destroy internals, quietly. The warning signs? Oil level creeping up, milky sheen on the dipstick, strong diesel smell, and faint bearing tick when cold. Most owners ignore it until it's too late. Monthly Blackstone oil analysis, $38, is like a crystal ball. You'll see the danger before it costs thousands. And check, do an oil sniff and visual test. Track oil level between changes. If it rises or smells strongly, it's a red flag. The fix? Stick to 3,000-mile oil changes with HD diesel spec oil and schedule at least one 30-minute highway blast weekly to complete full regens. The cost is $150 in frequent maintenance, and it saves $28,000 plus in catastrophic bearing failure. True story. A Texas short trip fleet hit 12% fuel dilution on analysis. 3,000-mile oil changes saved every engine. Don't let your diesel quietly destroy itself. Test now, drive smart, and respect those regens. Your L5P or Duramax will thank you with decades of torque and life. Most Chevy diesel owners see that blinking DPF light and think, it'll sort itself out. Big mistake. Modern Duramax and L5P engines rely on completed active regens to keep soot from overwhelming the filter. Skip them and suddenly your truck hits limp mode. 2,500 RPM max, sluggish highway performance, and a 5,000 to 6,000 DPF core replacement lumen. Dealers love when customers ignore this. It's a profit machine. Warning signs you can't miss. Yellow wrench regen demand light. Heavy exhaust soot smell. Sudden power cuts when cruising. Ignoring these is asking for trouble. And check. Plug in an OBD2 scanner weekly to monitor soot percentage. Make sure active cycle's complete. Don't guess. Watch those numbers like you watch oil levels. The fix? Whenever the regen light comes on, park safely and let the active cycle finish. Even better, schedule at least one 45-minute highway run weekly to prevent buildup entirely. The cost? A $425 scanner saves $5,800 DPF replacement. No debate. Real life story. A California commuter ignored blinking regens for 3 weeks. Ended up limp moded on the freeway with a $6,200 tow bill. Meanwhile, scanner-equipped owners keep their trucks smooth and limp-free. Treat those lights like gold. They're your Duramax's early warning system. Paying attention now keeps thousands in your wallet and your truck running clean for years. A lot of diesel owners think they're easy on the truck by cruising under 1,800 RPM. Feels safe, right? Wrong. Modern Duramax and L5P engines actually need a proper rev range to keep carbon deposits in check. Babying it constantly starves the EGR and turbo of airflow, promotes soot buildup, and quietly turns your clean engine into a slow death machine. Warning signs to watch for. Throttle response feels sluggish. Turbo spool lags. Black puffs of exhaust hit under light acceleration. Those are your engine's cries for a proper rev. The check? Once a month, hit the highway for a 20 to 30 minute run at 2,500 to 3,000 RPM. That's your Italian tune-up. Lets boost flow, burns off carbon in the EGR, intake, and pistons, keeps everything clean. Even a lightly loaded pull at 3,000 RPM for a few minutes makes a huge difference. The fix is don't baby it all the time. Vary RPM, let the engine breathe, and occasionally push it through a spirited highway stretch while light loaded. You'll notice throttle snap back, turbo responsiveness, and exhaust clears quickly. The cost is a few dollars in fuel, but it adds hundreds of thousands of miles to internal engine life. Professional fleets mandate these monthly highway tune-ups. Cylinders stay healthy, carbon disappears, MPG improves. Your L5P isn't built to be timid. It needs to rev, breathe, and live a little. Ignore it and slow carbon creep silently kills performance. A lot of folks think it's synthetic. I can go 10 to 15,000 miles no problem. Dealers love that story. Reality? Diesel engines aren't gentle. Your Duramax or L5P works 4 times harder than a gas truck. Soot, fuel dilution, blow-by, all of it attacks oil protection fast. Stretching 5,000-mile oil changes to 10,000 is basically giving your bearings a slow death sentence. Warning signs? Varnished valve covers, oil looking weird or milky, tiny metal flakes in analysis. Ignore these and you're gambling with $15,000 plus repairs. Check. Get a simple oil analysis every change. It shows what your engine really sees, not what the manual promises. The fix? Stick to 5,000-mile HD diesel intervals. Always pair with proper motorcraft filters. Cheap to do, priceless for longevity. Fleet and high-mileage owners swear by half intervals. Many hit 300,000 miles with original internals. Trust me, microscopic wear adds up fast, and synthetic can erase bad habits. Your L5P wants fresh blood every 5,000 miles. Don't wait until the engine's telling you it's too late. Oil is life, and clean oil keeps legends alive. A lot of Chevy diesel owners push their tank close to empty, thinking, I'll make it another 50 miles. Problem is, that last eighth of a tank isn't just fuel, it's a sludge soup of tank sediment, water, and microscopic gunk. Your lift pump sucks it up. Cavitation starts, and before you know it, CP4 injectors are starving. One mistake here can cost $8,000. Diesels hate empty tanks far worse than gas trucks. Warning signs? Power stumbles under a quarter tank, hard, hot restarts, filters clogging more often. If you're seeing this, you're flirting with disaster. Check. Keep the tank above a quarter full at all times. It's that simple. Combine with fuel additives to prevent buildup, and always stick to top-tier stations: Shell, Chevron, Exxon, Mobil. Don't gamble with random discount fuel. The fix? Discipline beats repair bills. Fill early, top up often. Your injection system thanks you. The cost is $0 in discipline versus an $8,000 injector replacement. Here's a real story. A winter-stranded Silverado owner ran low repeatedly. The fuel tank sucked in debris but avoided full injector failure thanks to a last-minute refill. Half-tank minimum is cheap insurance that keeps your Duramax happy and running smooth. If you're running a Chevy diesel on dusty job sites or through RV parks, skipping the air filter check is like inviting destruction. A restricted air filter creates a lean condition. More heat in the cylinders, turbo sucking sandpaper straight onto bearings, pistons cooking. It sneaks up quietly until you're smelling white smoke or noticing sluggish power. Your turbo whines differently, throttle response flattens, and MPG drops suddenly. The warning signs: wide exhaust, strange turbo pitch, sudden fuel efficiency dip. Don't wait. These are cries for help. Check monthly in heavy dust environments. Shine a flashlight through your filter. Can't see the light? Replace it. Simple. The fix? Stick to OEM Motorcraft filters. For extreme dust, dual cleanable filters work wonders. Inspect every month on construction sites or during prolonged desert RV trips. It's cheap insurance against catastrophic engine damage. The cost is $85 per filter versus $20,000 piston or turbo replacement. Real story? Southwest construction fleet swapping monthly filters on Silverados. Turbos and pistons untouched at 250,000 miles. Breathe easy. A clean air filter keeps your Duramax alive and rev happy. In dusty conditions, skipping this check is like gambling with $20,000. Don't. If you're towing a big trailer with your Chevy HD, ignoring the exhaust brake is like handing your wheel brakes a blowtorch. Imagine 18,000 pounds barreling down a mountain without engine braking. Those rotors are glowing 900 degrees Fahrenheit by the bottom. Pads fade, rotors warp, and your truck becomes a rolling hazard. Yet, most owners never learn proper use. Warning signs are obvious if you pay attention. That burnt brake smell on the descent, a soft pedal by the third stop, even blue marks on your rotors. These aren't minor annoyances. They're screaming warnings your brakes are cooking. And check. Engage the exhaust brake with an empty truck. Watch the dash light. If it's sluggish or not responding, you need practice. The fix. Use tow haul mode auto downshift. Manually hold fourth gear on steep grades. And keep the exhaust brake on. It's simple and costs nothing but attention. The cost is $0 for proper use versus $2,800 in pads and rotor replacements. A real-life example? Rocky Mountain fleet drivers swear by exhaust brake training. Pad life triple. Brakes stay cool, even fully loaded. Your Duramax owns gravity. Let it fight for you. Use it right, and your brakes will thank you for hundreds of thousands of worry-free miles. There it is, 17 habits killing Chevy Duramax dreams daily. That L5P begs these simple checks. Ignore them, you're financing dealerships. Print this checklist, glove box staple. Your next road trip depends on it.